Okay, the most beautiful moment in life. So the reason I'm actually going through their past content is I'm trying to do a series that will lead up to their return and the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the most beautiful moment in life. And it is really where everything started, right? All of their succeeding BU, their succeeding music videos, it always comes back to the most beautiful moment in life. So it's a very important part of their discography and also their artistic journey, because this is where everything started, and this is the magnum opus of Suga. Can you believe that all of this started with his brain? Sugar, huh? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to get called out for having sugar as my bias. Okay, so I was going through it. As I was going through it, I also remembered some of the less popular theories, protest. Okay, so some less popular theories about the series, about the BU, um, primarily because Beth said, I love sugar. So do I. So these are some unpopular theories because some of them came later. Like some fans sort of just woke up one day and said, I have an idea. And I'm one of them. Some of these are my theory. Okay, so the first one. So remember the scene in Run, right? Do you remember the scene when they were going? So Jin was driving the pickup, the truck, and all the other members went down and they were like creating havoc in the tunnel. And the theory that some people had is that Jin is the only one alive, which is a contrast, a contrast of the more popular theory, and that is that Jin was the one who passed away and is trying to revive everything else. So they think that in this scene, this is Jin's imagination. So the six aren't real. He's just imagining them, and that is why people in the cars aren't reacting, because they all passed away already, and this is just Jin imagining, reliving the past. And he is reliving it because he failed to save them. Okay, so that's theory number one. Next, so if you would remember, the last, supposedly the last major music video they had is On. After that, they were going to do a tour, do some solo activities, and and then enlist in the military. I love this photo too. So, and then their very first in this Bangtan universe, their very first is I Need You, right? The theory, and as you know, each era is actually connected to each other because there's a lot of elements that they are actually using from a previous era, they're using in the new era. For example, fire. It has always been identified with Shoga, and it was used in Wings, it was used in um, Love Yourself, and it was also used in The Most Beautiful Moment in Life. The Bio Explorer said there is the photo when he noticed at the beach that the other person wasn't in it. Yes, I will show that in a bit. So remember that, like this was the first. I Need You is actually the music video that started it all in Korea, and the last one was actually this one, On. So the theory is that the timeline is actually reverse. So it's their first life, and then you go back into Wings, go back to Love Yourself, sorry, yeah, Wings, Love Yourself, Wings, and then on to I Need You, the most beautiful moment in life. So through time, in each lifetime that they've lived, they've always been connected, and in each lifetime, in each generation, Jin has been trying to correct the mistakes in order to save everybody. So it is, the entire timeline is actually in reverse. This is their first life, and then you go back, and this is their current life. That is why the youth series actually took off from here, because this is the present now. So everything else will now be about trying to save them in their current life. So that's theory number two. The timeline is reversed. Okay. I hope that you all know that BTS already had several short films and usually a series of short films. So this is the highlight reel. That is actually what they call it, the highlight reel of Love Yourself. So have you all seen this? Because it's going to be a spoiler if you haven't seen it. Now, the theory is that this is not a love interest. This is actually his mother. For all of you who has seen Youth, the series, you will know that Jin actually lost his mom. When he was very little, he lost his mom. And his mother is most likely the one that holds the key to time travel. Because there's a certain video that he keeps on going back to, and he's trying to decode something in that video. And my guess is that it has something to do with time travel. So this girl that he saw, it's his mother, and he was going back in time to meet the mother. That is why it seems that the girl didn't even see him in here. Like she didn't even look back to glance at him, even though he was staring at him. So that is not a love interest, that is his mother. Okay. For Jin, the entire thing, the key into how he will be able to save the other boys is a choice. It will always be a choice between saving his mother or saving his friends. So he longs for his mom. He doesn't have a very good relationship with his father. And he's hell bent in looking for an answer on where his mother is or what happened to his mother. And I think that the choice is the only way he can save all of his friends if he gives up on his mother. If he tries or makes a decision to save his mom, then he's going to lose his friends. So it's a tragedy for him. It's catch 22. So Jimin, okay, next theory. Jimin is consistently connected to water, from I Need You all the way to Wings and all the way to Love Yourself. It has always been um it has always been water. On the other hand, Suga is always connected to fire. I think Jimin is actually the key to saving Suga. If their elements, the two elements that are always connected or complement each other, I guess, is water and fire. And Jimin has always been connected to water, while Suga has always been connected to fire. I think it's Jimin who holds the key into saving Suga. And the reason I also think that is in the short film and in Run BTS, I think, or I Need You, Jimin was shown burning a note and the picture. So he was the one, twice in two different instances, he was the one who was shown burning something. And I think that is the key for Jin to be able to save Suga. Okay. Now, if you watch the highlight reel, the series of short films, you would know that Jungkook actually ended up in a wheelchair. So this is the moment when he got into an accident and ended up in the wheelchair. That is actually what pushed Suga into the edge, and he decided to burn everything else around him, including himself. So the theory is that Jungkook actually died, and that's what pushed Suga to burn his room. They had a fight. Suga and Jungkook had a fight. So Jungkook went off on his own, and Suga went off on his own. He got into trouble. He got run over. In the short film, he was shown in a wheelchair in a hospital. So the the interpretation is that he actually just he got into an accident, like he was just paralyzed or something. He wasn't. That is my theory. He actually died. And the reason I think that is in this scene, the girl that he was with in the hospital is gone. And I think it was because he is not able to see anything anymore because he crossed over. Okay. Next theory. If you would notice, this girl is the member of ITZY. And in the highlight reel, it seems that there is a love triangle between J Hope, Jimin and the girl. However, I don't think that's the case. I think the girl is connected to Jimin's past, and that's why he didn't help J Hope save the girl. Remember, when they were in the rain, J Hope actually run to save the girl. I think she got injured or something, and Jimin actually just looked at them, let them go. He didn't help, and I think it's because the girl is connected to Jimin's past. I don't know if you have seen the youth series, but in the youth series, Jimin actually went through a traumatic experience. They made it appear as if he witnessed an abuse. It could be more. It could be more because they, as you know, in the youth series, they didn't actually finish the story. So at the end of the series, you will have more questions than answers. And so one of the questions that I had in my head is that was he did was he more than just a witness to the abuse? Now, the beauty of this entire thing is that it is open to interpretation, right? I don't think they meant it to have one answer until they actually come out with a movie or a series, which they did. But it, as I've said, it feels like session zero for me. It's a prequel more than anything because I had more questions than answers by the end of the series. But I think they really meant it to make us interpret the story and give our like different perspective. So I don't think there's like one correct answer until they release their own.